Hey guys, it's Andrew here again. Welcome to my first video in the contortion video series. This particular video is on upper back flexibility and shoulder flexibility, two aspects that are very important for contortion. You need to have a very flexible upper back and flexible shoulders to be able to do contortion. So I hope these stretches really help. Once again, guys, if you have any comments or questions, please leave them on my profile, and look out for future videos on lower back flexibility and contortion. Thanks, bye. Okay, so the first stretch is just the cat stretch. So starting on your knees, take your hands out in front and come up on your fingertips, like little paws or claws that you've got, and take your chest to the ground. The next stretch from here is to actually reach your hands all the way out, flat hands this time, and you want your chest to actually touch the ground. Now you'll see that I'm actually lifting my feet off the ground. This is so that I can actually get my chest to the ground. If you can't get your chest quite to the ground, you can bring your hips forwards of your knees, as I'm doing here, and then what you want to eventually do is walk your knees in so that you're aiming to eventually get it so that your knees are directly under your hips and having your chest to the ground. But of course, if you can't do that, if you're not quite flexible enough yet, just start with your knees further back. Make sure your chest is always touching the ground, and then each time try to walk your knees in as close as you can be so that they're directly under your hips if possible. And with your feet, I find it helps to lift them off the ground initially, but ideally they should actually be on the ground. I just lift them up just because I find it helps just that little bit when I first start stretching. And your arms are straight along the ground here, so it should be a shoulder stretch and an upper back stretch. So the next stretch is we're going to do is a stretch that I learnt from a member on Contortionists Unite called Janelle. It's called the kitty cat stretch. So you're going to use a wall. So you're going to reach up the wall and you take the chest to the wall and arch in your back. So you want to ideally have your feet directly under where your hips are, and your chest must be touching the wall. Once again, you should be feeling this in your shoulders and your back. So your arms want to be really straight and you're looking up at your hands. Just there, I'm just walking my feet in closer so that they're directly under my hips. And if you want more of a stretch, lower your chest and your arms further down the wall. And that the lower you go, the more intense the stretch will be. Another stretch you can do is just put your hands up on the wall, this time just pressing your chest through towards the ground. Make sure you keep your arms really straight, and so allow the back to arch. Once again, have your feet directly underneath your hips. Really push your arms really straight. That really helps to increase your shoulder flexibility. And then, as I said, try to take your chest and your head towards the ground through between your arms. And just hold it there, just relax into this pose. You don't want to sort of rush into it. Just spend as long as you need to actually, until you can feel it stretching and you get that really great stretch. Now just demonstrating with your, just a normal shoulder stretch with your hands on the wall. I just really want to stress once again, with all shoulder stretches, the best thing to remember is you need to press away from the wall. Keep your elbows really straight. Keep your arms straight. It's something that, just a tip that's really helped me enormously. When you do that, you'll just find you'll be able to press through so much better. So just remember that tip when you're stretching out your shoulders. I'm going to show you another stretch which you can use a rope or any sort of solid object. It's called a shoulder breaker for obvious reasons. Basically you're just bringing your arms from front to back, and as you notice, I've got a fairly wide grip on the rope at this point, and eventually what you're aiming to do is walk your hands in closer along the rope, so that the more flexible you are, walk your hands in closer. If it's harder, you can take your hands out wider. So you can use this stretch. The more you do it, the easier it'll get, and then each time just walk your hands in a bit closer, and then try it again, and it'll be harder, and each time you'll be getting more and more flexible. There's a little tip that I actually use in order to increase flexibility, and that's to just do a bit of a side bend at the top there, as I'm demonstrating here. I find that really helps to just get past that sticking point, and just spend a bit of time just sort of just stretching that sticking point where it really feels like it doesn't want to go past, and then of course let it go all the way through. You'll find that once you've stretched that really hard point, then it'll be much easier to go all the way over. Okay. So I'm demonstrating now another stretch you can use for your shoulders. Basically taking your hands up on a raised surface like a chair or a table or whatever. Same sort of thing. You really want to be sort of hanging off the object or the chair, and really sink your chest to the ground. Now in this one, what I'm doing is I'm actually progressively taking my knees further and further back, so that I'm sinking more and more through the shoulders and trying to get that chest to touch the ground. That's something you can try to actually make that stretch more effective. And of course, let's not forget, once you've warmed up your bridge, your back bending, an effective shoulder stretch is of course the shoulder bridge. So you go up into your regular bridge, just as per normal, and you really want to take your legs, so that I'm really going to push my legs straight here and push all the way over my shoulders. So actually even more so straighten those legs as much as you possibly can and push over the shoulders. That's really going to open up your shoulders and increase your shoulder flexibility. This stretch really helps enormously. If you can do that every day, I really recommend it. Hope you've enjoyed these shoulder stretches.